an amendment at the desk.
For what purpose does Mr. Goldman seek recognition?
Oh, my apologies for jumping ahead. I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will distribute the amendment to all members. Does everyone have the amendment? No. All right, we're going to let the clerk distribute the amendment. I believe it was changed in the last little bit.
That's okay. I would ask that the clerk read the amendment. No, we're not. My apologies. I withdraw.
While we're waiting for everyone to review the amendment, I'll say we had 3 hours of opening statements. So hopefully we can get through these amendments in time. Just a note, we're working on printing the amendment because we just got it.
You want to move to another one? I think I can go now if you want to just use the time and I can do mine. I mean, I can do the time and we'll see if it's ready.
Yeah, he gave me the whole stack of amendments, copies for everybody. You have them.
Okay.
So they didn't just get them.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. I mean, if you, do you want to start with another one, Mr. Chairman? Mr. Garcia is ready to go.
We're handing it out now. Proceed with the clerk to read it. Okay. The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute as offered by Mr. Goldman of New York.
Without objection, the amendment is considered as read. I reserve a point of order. The gentleman from New York is recognized for 5 minutes to explain his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment would strike all of the resolve clauses and the report, and it would insert language that details all of the extensive efforts to cooperate that Hunter Biden and his attorney have made in response to this committee's requests for testimony and information from him. That began in February when Chairman Comer wrote to request documents and communications related to our investigation of President Biden's involvement in your financial conduct. The following day, his attorney wrote back to Chairman Comer offering to sit down with the staff to discuss the request. Then, 7 months later, Chairman Comer goes on television and said he never got a response back from Hunter Biden, which is flat out false. And that day, Hunter Biden's attorney wrote again to Chairman Comer to say that he did respond, he never heard a response, but that he remains available to have a discussion. So next, without any response from the chairman, you went straight into a subpoena. The subpoena was for testimony, and the witness, Hunter Biden, has put no conditions or limitations on his testimony. There are no limits on the topics. There's no limits on the length of time. He's happy to do it under oath. He has said he would not assert the Fifth Amendment privilege, even though that's available to him. That's in stark contrast to Devon Archer, their star witness, who so narrowly limited the time and scope of his testimony that we could not ask him anything about any of his own criminal conduct. But the only request that Hunter Biden has made is that he wants to give his testimony in public, not behind a closed-door deposition where his transcript wouldn't be released. There's absolutely no certainty or guarantee that there would ever be a public hearing again, and I would bet a lot of money that you will never put him in that witness chair, whether or not he comes in. That's all he wanted, just to speak to the American people. He has not, unlike your dear leader, filed a lawsuit to prevent third parties from turning over financial information. In fact, you've received tens of thousands of bank records. The problem you have is not Hunter Biden's cooperation. It's that all of those bank records, which would show any connection between Hunter Biden and his father, if there were any, has zero money going from Hunter Biden to Joe Biden related to any of his business ventures. So your problem is that the evidence doesn't show what you say it does. It's not that he's not cooperating, so that's why we're here today, so that you can change the topic, can claim that there's some kind of obstruction, and therefore Hunter Biden really did do all of these terrible things, and Hunter Biden should be impeached. Oh, wait, no. It's not Hunter Biden who's being impeached here. Now, this is far worse because the chairman, as we've discussed many times, has multiple times offered Hunter Biden to come testify in public. So if you had wanted a closed-door deposition, I don't understand why you would go on TV, Mr. Chairman, and offer for Hunter Biden to come in and testify publicly, whichever he chooses. So why no public hearing? Why won't you have a public hearing? The only request, this is an incredibly cooperative witness. We've all dealt with many witnesses who put a lot of restrictions on their testimony. There's one request of Hunter Biden, which is to speak directly to the American people, not in a closed door to the Republicans who will control the release, the dissemination, and the misinformation from that testimony. Why not? Well, one of your own colleagues went on the House floor last fall and said that this impeachment investigation was, quote, failure theater, unquote. A Republican said that. So the theory here must be, let's avoid the theater part of that and just keep the failure behind closed doors. Last month, Hunter Biden showed up to the Capitol on the day that he was subpoenaed, ready to testify in this hearing room. You refused to take his testimony. That very same afternoon, you went on the House floor to vote for an impeachment resolution on the rationale that you needed to pass a resolution to get more evidence. You reject evidence in the morning, and then you cry foul about no evidence in the afternoon. He's ready to testify, and this is a dangerous precedent you're setting if every single line in every single subpoena must be adhered to, or you're going to hold in contempt. I know my colleagues on the other side of the aisle who defied subpoenas outright would be very afraid if that becomes the standard here. And I yield back.
And I'll recognize myself. I oppose this amendment. This amendment claims that Hunter Biden has cooperated with this committee's investigation. How has he cooperated with the investigation if he has not abided by congressional